Okay, so today we're going to be doing a deep dive into flirting.
Ooh,
You know, everybody's favorite subject.
sounds fun.
You sent over some source material. It was a video that was specifically geared toward men
Yes.
that broke down certain techniques that are supposed to make women go wild.
Yeah.
And we're not promising anybody that
Yeah.
they're going to be completely irresistible after listening to this deep dive.
Yeah.
But we're going to unpack these tactics and hopefully get a little bit more of an understanding of the psychology behind them.
It'll be interesting to see what they are and kind of pick them apart.
Exactly.
And it's important to remember
Yes.
that this is just one perspective,
Right.
one person's opinion.
Yeah, we're peeking into one person's playbook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, we're going to look at it with a critical eye
Sure.
and think about how this plays out in the real world,
Exactly.
not just in this one guy's mind.
Right.
It's exactly.
So the first tactic that he highlights in this video is
Okay.
playful disqualification.
Playful disqualification.
What is that all about? What's the deal with that?
It's kind of a reverse psychology approach
I know.
where you're saying things that imply you're not interested,
Okay.
almost like you're disqualifying yourself as a potential partner.
Interesting.
And so the example that this video gives is
Okay.
you say to somebody,
Uh-huh.
you and I could never get along, you're way too stubborn or something. But it's all kind of said in this playful, teasing manner.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, like, instead of showering somebody with compliments,
Yes.
you're kind of like,
You're pushing them away.
you're challenging them a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I could see how this could backfire
Oh, absolutely.
if it's not done
Yeah,
properly.
it's walking a very fine line,
Right.
done well.
Uh-huh.
It creates a little intrigue.
Okay.
It plays on this scarcity principle
Of the-
that we tend to want what we can't have. But if it comes across as
Yeah.
genuinely mean or dismissive,
Yeah.
it's going to have the opposite effect.
Right. So it's not like you're actually being rude. You're just
No.
sort of like
Yeah.
creating this sense of challenge. You're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Like you're not so easily won over.
right, exactly.
Figs
Like
are.
those limited edition sneakers
Yes.
that everybody wants.
Exactly.
They're hard to get.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah.
Maybe.
Now, another tactic that he talks about is
Okay.
reversing the roles.
Reversing the roles. Have you ever heard of this one?
I can't say I have, but
Okay.
it's interesting the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one, you're basically acting like
Okay.
she's the one pursuing you.
Interesting.
And this is where it gets kind of tricky.
Yeah.
Because the example he gives in the video
Okay.
is something to the effect of,
Like, whoa, stop undressing me with your eyes.
wow.
Yeah.
That seems like it would require
Right.
perfect timing.
Yeah. The delivery on that
Right.
has to be perfect.
Yeah. So why
It can't be creepy.
why is that supposed to work?
Yeah. So if it's done well,
Right.
what it does is it flips the script.
Uh-huh.
It shows confidence.
Okay.
It creates playful tension.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of you seeming eager,
Right.
it makes it seem like she's the one
Okay.
who is captivated.
Oh, interesting.
But again, timing is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's high risk, high reward,
Yes.
I feel like.
Very much so.
Yeah. When would it be appropriate?
Okay. Well,
And when would it be a disaster?
I think if she's showing clear signs of interest,
Okay.
like if she's leaning in,
Yeah.
making eye contact,
Yeah.
responding to your jokes,
Yeah.
really enthusiastically,
Right.
that might be a moment
Okay.
where you could try
Gotcha.
something like that.
So you wouldn't use this
Right.
as like
Yeah.
your first move.
Right.
This would be like,
Yeah, like if
Would-
things were already
yeah, like maybe things are already
going well.
going well and you want to kind of amp it up.
Amp it up, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
But if you try that with someone
Right.
who's not already into you,
Yeah.
and if the vibe isn't already playful,
Yeah.
it could come off as really arrogant
Oh, totally.
and creepy even.
Yeah.
So context is everything.
So this one requires some finesse.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know if
Yes.
any of our listeners have tried reversing the roles while flirting.
Let us know.
Head over to our socials and let us know
Yes.
how that went for you.
Definitely.
The next tactic on the list,
Okay.
it's called push-pull.
Push-pull. Okay.
And I think this one gets
I
into
think so.
some pretty interesting psychology.
Yes, it's all about creating this exciting, almost addictive, emotional roller coaster.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Okay.
Break it down for me. All right, so it's about alternating
Uh-huh.
between showing interest, which is the pull,
Okay.
and then playfully pulling back or teasing. That's the push.
Okay.
And so the example that he gives in the video
Okay.
is he says, "You're so cute, I hate you."
So it's that thing.
You combine a compliment
Yeah.
with a playful dig.
It's like that saying,
Yes.
treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Right.
But hopefully with a little more
But hopefully with a bit more nuance
nuance,
than that, exactly.
not actually being
Right,
in.
right.
So, I mean, there's got to be more to it
Yeah.
than just being
Yeah.
unpredictable.
Well, think about a good movie plot.
Okay.
What keeps you on the edge of your seat?
Okay, yeah.
Right.
The twists and turns.
The twists and turns,
Yeah.
moments of suspense followed by relief.
Right.
Right.
Keeps you guessing.
That unpredictability
Yeah.
keeps us engaged.
Yeah.
And so I think the same principle applies to
Mm.
flirting.
Okay.
Push-pull kind of taps into that human desire
Right.
for novelty and excitement.
Okay. Yeah.
It keeps things interesting.
Yeah. I can see how that would
Yeah.
be exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, and keep the other person guessing.
I've definitely felt that in romantic situations where it's
Yeah.
like that back and forth can be very
Absolutely.
exciting.
Yeah.
But I can also see
Yeah.
how if you overdo the
Right.
right,
Too much push, and then you just seem uninterested.
then you just seem like you don't care.
Right. You want to find that sweet spot
Right.
where there's just enough tension
Uh-huh.
to keep things interesting
Yeah.
without pushing the other person away.
It's like a tightrope walk.
It is a tightrope walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this is making me think. Have you ever experienced this?
Oh, I think we've all been there
Yeah.
at some point or another.
Yeah.
It's a pretty natural dynamic
Mm-hmm.
that often arises in flirtatious interactions, even if we're not doing it consciously.
Right.
But I think the key
Yeah.
to be aware of it
Uh-huh.
and use it intentionally,
Yeah.
not manipulatively.
Well said. I think our listeners probably have
Oh, for sure.
some stories
Yeah.
about this one too.
Yeah, tell us about it.
So let us know.
Yes.
Head over to our socials
Absolutely.
and tell us about a time when you experienced
Yeah.
the good old
Push-pull
dynamic.
Yeah. And so far we've got these 3
Okay.
tactics: playful disqualification,
Yeah.
reversing the roles,
Yes.
and push-pull.
Yes.
And one thing I'm noticing is that
Yeah.
they all require
What's that?
a certain level of confidence
Yes.
to pull them off.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Confidence is essential
Yeah.
for any flirting tactic
Yeah.
to be effective.
You gotta believe in yourself.
Yes, when you believe in yourself and your worth,
Yeah.
it just shows. It shows in your body language,
Yeah.
in your tone of voice,
Mhm.
your overall demeanor.
And that can be incredibly attractive.
So how can our listener boost their confidence
Okay, well, first of all,
when it comes to flirting?
yeah,
Any tips?
you have to remember
Yeah.
that everyone feels nervous
Yeah.
or awkward
Yeah.
sometimes,
Sure.
especially when it comes to flirting,
Yeah.
because it's a vulnerable experience
Oh, absolutely.
to put yourself out there.
So true.
So, don't beat yourself up
Yeah.
if you feel a little shy or unsure of yourself.
Yeah, that's reassuring.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just me.
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
It's totally normal.
Yeah.
But don't let those nerves
Yeah.
paralyze you.
Uh,
The key is to push past them.
easier said than done.
I know, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
But how do we actually do that?
Yeah, how do we
How do we push past those nerves?
pass those nerves and just like,
Yeah, practice.
okay.
The more you put yourself out there,
Mm.
the more comfortable you'll become.
Right.
So start with small interactions. Like make eye contact with
Yeah.
someone you find attractive.
Yeah.
Smile. Give a genuine compliment.
Right.
Those small gestures
They go a long way.
can go a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
And don't forget about body language.
oh, right.
It speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Stand tall, make eye contact,
Mm-hmm.
lean in slightly when you're talking to someone.
Right.
These are all signs that you're interested
Yeah.
and engaged.
It's not just what you're saying.
Yes,
It's how you're saying it and how you're holding yourself.
precisely.
Yeah.
Flirting is a multi-sensory experience.
Right.
It's about creating a connection on multiple levels.
It's almost like you're telling a story
Oh, I like that.
about yourself
How so?
without using words.
Yeah.
Through your
Yeah.
body language. Like,
Yeah.
this is who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what I'm into.
I love that.
This is what I find attractive about you.
It's a brilliant insight. It's like you're telling a story about yourself.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
just like a good story.
Yeah.
Flirting should be engaging. It should be intriguing.
Yeah.
And leave the other person wanting more.
Create a sense of mystery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Keep the story going.
Keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
And that's where those flirting tactics come in
Yeah.
handy
Yeah.
to kind of add a little
A little spice.
spice, a little unpredictability
Yeah.
to the story you're telling.
It's like those literary devices.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
like the metaphors or the
Yeah.
similes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Perfect analogy.
So you're not looking at it as
Yeah.
like a script.
Right.
You're looking at it as just these tools.
Yeah, like tools to enhance
So yes, yeah.
the overall narrative.
Narrative,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so we're not putting on an act.
Right.
We're just
You're being authentic.
being authentically ourselves,
Yeah.
using these things.
Yeah.
To sort of add a little,
Yeah, a little flair.
a little flourish.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so that takes the pressure off.
It does.
Because I always feel like I don't know the right thing to say,
Yeah.
you know, or I don't know how to,
Yeah.
do the right moves or whatever.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about saying the perfect thing. You
Right.
can just be present,
Yeah.
have fun, and let your unique personality
Right.
shine through.
So this video also talks about flow and adaptation.
Right, yes.
And that seems
That's a really important one.
really important.
It's not enough
Yeah.
to just have these tactics
Yeah.
in your back pocket.
You gotta know
You have to know how to read the room.
how to use them.
Yes,
Yeah.
adapt to the person you're interacting with.
Yeah, you're not a robot.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not just gonna deploy them.
You can't just robotically deploy playful disqualification
Right.
and expect to have the desired result.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are our listeners supposed to focus on then?
So I think the most important thing is to remember that
Yeah.
flirting is a dance, not a monologue.
Oh.
It's about being present in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
reading the other person's signals,
Yeah.
and responding in a way that creates
Mm-hmm.
a sense of playfulness
Yeah.
and connection.
I love the dance analogy.
It really
It really is a dance.
captures that back and forth energy.
Yeah. The unspoken communication.
Yes.
Yeah. So instead of memorizing these tactics,
Yeah.
we should just work on
Your social skills.
social skills.
Yeah,
And be comfortable with being ourselves.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating those qualities
Mhm.
that make you attractive.
Right.
Your sense of humor, your
Mhm.
intelligence, your passions.
So in a way, the best flirting tactic is
Yeah.
just to
Just be authentically you
be yourself.
when you're genuinely interested
Right.
in someone
Yeah.
and you're not trying to put on a facade
Yeah.
that just shines through.
It shines through that confidence.
That confidence and that authenticity is magnetic.
But you can still be playful, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Flirting should be enjoyable
Uh-huh.
for both people.
Yeah.
It's about creating that spark,
Yeah.
that sense of excitement and possibility.
Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah.
playful teasing can.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all about finding that balance
Right.
between being playful
Yeah.
and being respectful,
Uh-huh.
showing interest,
Right.
but maintaining a bit of mystery.
It's interesting because we've been talking about all these tactics.
Right.
And they all require confidence. Be well.
Such a great observation.
Yeah.
Confidence is a key ingredient
Yeah.
in successful flirting.
Yeah. It's just when you believe in yourself,
When you believe in yourself
it shows.
and your worth, it shows.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
in everything you do.
Yeah.
Your body language, your tone of voice,
Yeah.
your overall demeanor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can our listeners
So how do we boost our confidence?
boost their confidence
When it comes to flirting?
when it comes to flirting? Yeah. Any tips?
Well, for starters,
Okay.
I think it's important to remember
Yeah.
that everyone feels a bit nervous or awkward
Oh, yeah.
when it comes to flirting.
Totally.
It's a vulnerable experience.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself out there.
Absolutely.
It's
true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's totally normal.
Okay, so it's not just me
No, not at all.
who gets butterflies in my stomach.
It's completely normal
Okay.
to feel a little apprehensive.
Okay.
So
The key is,
how do we push past that?
yeah, how do we not let those nerves
Yeah.
paralyze us?
Yeah.
Practice. The more you put yourself out there,
Uh-huh.
the more comfortable you'll become.
Right.
You know, start with small interactions.
Like making eye contact with someone
Mm-hmm.
you find attractive,
Right.
giving a genuine compliment.
Yeah.
You know, those small gestures
Uh-huh.
can make a big difference.
Right.
They show that you're open to connection
Yeah.
and that you're confident enough to initiate
Right.
interaction.
Yeah.
And what about body language?
Oh, yeah.
That plays a big role.
Body language is huge.
Huge. Yeah, I would say, yeah.
So, you know, making eye contact,
Mm-hmm.
smiling,
Right.
leaning in slightly
Yeah.
when you're talking to someone.
It's like you're saying,
These are all signals
I'm interested,
that you're interested and engaged.
without saying it.
Exactly. Right.
That's so true.
It's not just about the words you say,
Yeah.
it's how you say them.
Right.
And the nonverbal cues you're sending.
It's like we're sending these secret messages
Yes.
with our bodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Flirting is a multisensory experience.
It really is.
It's about creating a connection. Yeah.
On multiple levels.
It's like improv jazz.
Oh, I like that.
It's like you've got the basic structure,
Yeah.
but then there's all this room for
Yeah.
improvisation.
Yeah.
You know, you got to listen to the other musicians, respond to their cues.
Yes, absolutely.
And, you know, hope that something.
Yeah. Trust that something
Yes.
beautiful will emerge in that collaboration.
And that's what flirting is.
I love that analogy.
Isn't it?
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It really captures.
You got to be in the moment.
Yes.
You got to be present.
Be present.
Listen to the other person and let it just kind of
unfold organically.
unfold organically, yeah.
Yes. And just like in jazz,
Yeah.
sometimes the most unexpected moments are the most beautiful.
Right.
You might stumble upon a new riff or a melody you never would have discovered
Exactly.
if you had just rigidly stuck to the sheet music.
Yeah, you went off book. Exactly.
And something magical happened.
Yeah. I love it.
It's exciting.
It is.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen. And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, one thing I was surprised about in this video was he was really emphasizing combining these tactics.
Yes.
Not using them in isolation.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
You know, in real life,
Yeah.
flirting is rarely so black and white.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like you choose one tactic and stick to it.
You're not.
It's about weaving these different elements
together.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation.
You've got all these tools in your tool belt.
Right. You've got a toolbox.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like,
Oh, okay.
okay, which tool's going to work best?
Which one's right for this moment?
In this situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But ultimately, we're doing it for connection.
Connect.
Yes, create a genuine connection.
Yeah.
Not to manipulate.
He's trying to trick anybody.
Yeah.
Or play games.
No game.
Right.
Yeah.
He also talked about
He did, yes.
flirting as a skill.
Yeah.
Like not just memorizing lines,
It's not about memorizing lines.
but actually developing it.
It's about becoming more comfortable
Yeah.
with social interaction in general.
Right.
Learning to read body language.
Yeah.
Understanding the subtle
Yeah.
dance
Right.
of attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not putting on a persona.
Right.
We're not pretending to be somebody.
We're not.
We're just, it's about honing
We're honing our natural
your natural
ability to connect.
to connect with others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just be your best self.
Be your best self.
To be aware
That they're aware
of the signals you're sending
project
and how they're being received.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's something that
And that's a skill.
can help you
They can benefit you.
in any area of life.
Yes, absolutely. Not just romantically.
Romantically, yeah.
It's just good
Good life skills.
life skills, yeah.
Yes.
This reminds me of a time when
Oh, do tell.
I completely misread the signals.
Oh, I think we all have those stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, picture this.
Okay.
I was at a party
Okay.
and I saw this person across the room
Mm-hmm.
and I was instantly attracted to them.
Okay.
And I was feeling kind of bold.
Right.
So I decided I was going to try this
Okay.
playful disqualification
Ooh, bold move.
tactic.
How'd it go?
Not well
Oh.
at all. Like I went up to them and I was like,
Right.
you know, with like my most charming smile.
Yeah.
Like, you seem way too cool for me,
Alright.
but I'm willing to take a chance.
Oh no.
I don't know. It was so cheesy.
Oh.
Looking back,
What
they
happened?
just kind of looked at me blankly.
And they said,
Okay.
oh my God.
And then they turned away
Oh no.
and started talking to somebody else.
That's brutal.
I wanted to crawl under a rock
I can imagine.
and just disappear.
Yeah.
So what did you learn from that?
Well, for one thing, playful disqualification is not your forte.
No, it's not.
It's okay.
I learned that.
Yeah.
But I also learned,
But I think more importantly,
yeah,
you realize
Yeah.
that flirting is much more about being genuine
yeah,
and reading the other person's cues
yeah.
than trying to use some
Right, like
pre-rehearsed
this
line.
backfired.
Right.
Yeah, I just felt so
But sometimes those,
like inauthentic.
yeah, those flirting fails can be
Quietly.
the best learning experiences.
You're right. You're right.
Right.
You learn from your mistake.
You learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
You're not going to forget that moment anytime soon,
I know.
but it taught you
You did.
a valuable lesson.
The importance of
Being myself.
be yourself and let the interaction flow naturally.
Yeah, naturally.
And sometimes the best flirting moments
yeah,
happen when you least expect them.
right?
When you're just being yourself,
Totally.
having fun.
You can't force it.
You can't force it.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't force chemistry.
It's like
Yeah.
the source also emphasizes this point
Right.
about not just memorizing lines,
Yeah, he really stresses that flirting
but actually developing it as a skill.
is a skill.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect. I think that's where the
Yeah.
real value lies.
Mhm.
It's about becoming more comfortable
Yeah.
with social interaction,
Yeah.
learning to read body language,
Mm-hmm.
understanding this subtle dance
Yeah.
of attraction.
Yeah. So we're not just like,
And it's not about
yeah,
putting on a persona.
putting on an act.
We're actually pretending to be somebody you're not.
Yeah.
It's about honing
just
our natural
ability
ability
to connect
with others. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So be your best self.
Be your best self, but
Yeah.
be aware
But pay attention.
of the signals you're sending.
Oh, the signals.
Yeah.
Right.
And how they're being received.
And how they're landing.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
like,
And that's a skill.
that's something
that can benefit you.
that will help you in any area of life.
Yeah,
Not
so-
just,
Absolutely.
blunt.
Not just romantically.
yeah,
It's about
use good.
building confidence,
Like skills.
improving communication,
Right.
ultimately forming deeper connections
Deeper connection.
with people around us.
Yeah, it's about,
Yeah.
like, being a better human.
Yes,
Yeah, I like that.
absolutely.
Okay, so the video is really emphasizing this.
Flow and adaptation.
Right.
Right.
And it makes me think
Yeah.
that it ties back into something we talked about earlier,
Yeah, what's that?
about authenticity
Oh, right.
in flirting.
If you're too focused on these tactics,
If you're
Yeah.
too focused
you might come off as insincere.
on trying to use these tactics like a formula,
Yeah,
you might come across as insincere.
exactly.
Yeah, which is definitely not attractive.
Nobody wants to feel like they're being manipulated.
Right, exactly. You can't just go around robotically deploying
Right.
playful disqualification
Right.
or push-pull
Yeah.
and expect to sweep everyone off their feet.
Right. So what's the takeaway here?
So what should our listeners be focusing on?
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is to remember
Uh-huh.
that flirting is a dance, not a monologue.
We're back to the dance analogy.
We're back to the dance.
Yeah.
It's about being present in the moment,
Yeah.
reading the other person's signals.
And responding in a way that creates
Yeah.
a sense of playfulness and connection.
It's that unspoken
Yes.
communication.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
And just like any dance, it takes practice.
right.
The more you do it,
Uh-huh.
the more comfortable you're going to become.
Yeah.
The more confident you'll become.
More confident, right?
Right.
So don't be afraid to just put yourself out there.
And put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And practice.
Practice, practice, practice.
And, I think
Yeah.
instead of trying to memorize
Right.
a bunch of pickup lines or
Yeah.
tactics.
Nobody wants to hear a cheesy pickup line.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about developing
Your social skills.
social skills.
Yeah, and getting comfortable.
Yeah.
Being yourself.
Just being yourself. Yeah.
Like that's ultimately
it's about cultivating
many people want.
those qualities that make you attractive.
Right?
Your sense of humor,
Uh-huh.
your intelligence.
Yeah, your passions, the things that
The things that
make you unique.
make you.
You.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is the takeaway just be yourself?
Be yourself.
Yeah.
But also
Go.
be a good flirt.
So it's not just be yourself.
Right. But when you're genuinely interested
Yeah,
in someone
you're not putting on an act.
and you're not trying to put on a facade,
Yeah.
that confidence and authenticity
It just
shines
through.
shines through. Right?
But-
It's magnetic.
But you can still be playful.
Yeah,
But
well-
you know.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't have to be
Yeah. Flirting should be enjoyable
super serious.
for both people.
Right.
It's about creating a spark,
Yeah.
a sense of excitement
Right.
and possibility.
Like it's fun.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't be afraid
Okay.
to be playful.
Yeah.
A little playful teasing
Yeah.
can go a long way.
Sometimes it's what it takes
Yeah, exactly.
to create that spark.
Yeah, it's all about finding that balance
Right.
between, being playful,
Yeah.
being respectful, showing interest,
Right.
but maintaining a bit of mystery.
It's interesting. We've been talking about all this.
Yeah.
And it seems like
What's that?
confidence is
Confidence is key.
key
Yes, it's
to
essential.
pulling off these tactics.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Confidence is such a key ingredient
You gotta believe in yourself.
in successful flirting.
Yeah.
When you believe in yourself
Yeah.
and your worth,
It'll show.
it shows
Yeah.
in your body language, your tone of voice, your overall demeanor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do we boost
So how do we boost our confidence when it comes to flirting?
Yeah. Any tips?
Well, for starters,
Yeah.
I think it's important to remember
Okay.
that everyone
Yeah.
feels
A little
a
nervous.
little nervous
A little awkward.
or awkward when it comes to flirting.
Totally.
It's a vulnerable experience.
It really is.
Yeah, you're putting yourself out there.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So it's totally normal
Okay.
to feel
It's not just me.
a little apprehensive. But the key is
How do we push past it?
to not let those nerves paralyze you.
Right.
So how do we
do that? At over the hump.
how do we move past those nerves
Yeah.
and actually engage in a flirtatious way?
Yeah.
Practice.
Okay.
The more you put yourself out there,
Yeah.
the more comfortable you
Yeah.
become.
Yeah.
So start with small interactions,
Okay.
like making eye contact
Uh.
with someone you find attractive,
Uh-huh.
giving a genuine compliment.
Yeah.
You know, those small gestures
Hmm.
can make a big difference.
Small things go a long way.
They can.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They show that you're open to connection
Yeah.
and that you're confident enough to
Yeah.
initiate
To make that first
interaction. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't be afraid
Yeah.
to just
To put yourself out there.
those small steps.
Yeah, and body language, I would say. Is
Oh, absolutely.
stuff.
Body language
You know
is
what I mean?
everything.
Right.
It speaks volumes.
Right. Making eye contact.
So making eye contact,
Smiling.
smiling,
Leaning in
leaning in slightly
when you're talking to someone.
when you're talking to someone.
Like you're saying, I'm interested.
These are all signals that you're interested
Yeah. Without having to say it.
and engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So true.
It's not just about the words you say,
Yeah.
it's how you say them
Yeah.
and the nonverbal cues that you're sending.
We're sending all these secret.
Exactly.
We're
Sending these
like our bodies.
secret messages with our bodies.
Yeah, you know?
Right.
It's like
amazing.
you're speaking another language.
It is amazing.
But we don't even know we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're not
Are you so true?
even aware
Yeah.
of the messages we're sending. Yeah. So it's good to
Sometimes we're sending mixed messages.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
it's good to be
It's a lot to think about.
mindful of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So flirting is a
yeah.
lot like,
What is it like?
okay, this is a weird analogy,
Okay.
but it's like those documentaries
Okay.
where they're like deep in the jungle
Okay.
with these animals
Oh, wow.
and they're trying to like, you know, decipher their language.
communication.
Yeah.
Their mating rituals.
Your mating rituals, yeah.
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 I love that.
We're all just animals out there.
We are.
Trying to, you know,
Just trying to figure it out.
figure it out, send those signals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And sometimes it works.
Sometimes it works,
And sometimes,
and sometimes it's a complete disaster.
yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. You live and you learn, right?
You live and you learn. Exactly.
It's all part of the fun.
It is all part of the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else he talks about in this video?
What's that?
Is the importance
Yeah.
of not just memorizing lines,
Mhm.
but actually
Yeah, you'd really
developing flirting as a skill.
stresses that flirting is a skill.
Yeah. Which,
Oh, wow.
like we were just talking about.
And I think that's where the real value lies.
Okay.
It's about
Yeah.
becoming more comfortable
Yeah.
with social interaction,
Uh-huh.
learning to read body language,
All right.
understanding
Right.
the subtle dance of attraction.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about
It's not about putting on a show.
putting on a persona
Yeah.
or pretending to be somebody.
In to be somebody.
You're not, yeah.
You're not.
It's about honing
Honing our natural
your natural ability to connect
to connect with others.
with other humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's like, be your best self.
Be your best self,
Oh,
but
but be aware.
be aware
Right. Of
of the signal
you're sending in.
and how they're being received.
How you're being received.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's so important.
it is
There-
a skill
This is a life skill,
that can benefit you
Yeah.
in all areas of life,
not just in your romantic life.
not just romantically.
Yeah.
It's about
This is just being a good
good
communicator.
improving communication,
Right.
ultimately
Yeah.
forming
Forming deeper
connections with the people
with the people around us.
around you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like a lot of people
I think a lot of people
have this misconception.
have this idea
Yeah.
that flirting is just
Flirting is about
getting someone
getting someone to like you
to like you.
or getting a date. Or
Yeah, it's like
whatever.
you're trying to snag somebody.
I think it's so much more
Right.
than that.
It's more than that. It's about connection.
Yeah.
It's about sparking that initial interest
Yeah.
and seeing
And just seeing where it goes.
where it leads.
Yeah.
You know?
It doesn't always have to lead to
No.
a romantic relationship.
It doesn't.
Yeah. It could just be
Right. Sometimes it's just a fun
interaction.
moment of connection.
Yeah, you had a good conversation.
Yeah.
You made somebody smile.
You brightened someone's day.
Yeah.
Maybe you made a new friend.
Maybe you made a new friend.
Who knows?
Yeah. Oh,
Right. Yeah. And the thing is,
Yeah.
even if a particular interaction doesn't lead to
Yeah.
a romantic connection,
Right.
the skills
that you develop
you develop
through flirting.
can benefit you.
Not upset
When benefit you in all areas
in any area of your life.
of your life.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
great.
you're building confidence.
Yeah.
You're improving your communication. You're learning to read people
Right.
better.
Right.
They're all
good stuff.
valuable skills
Yeah.
to have.
So if you think of it that way,
Yeah,
it takes the pressure off.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
I'm
about
just like, I'm just gonna,
snagging a partner.
I'm just gonna go out there and
About
think
connecting with other human beings.
with other human beings.
Yeah,
and
maybe something.
romantic will blossom from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If
That's
not,
about
no big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah.
You had a good time.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we've been talking about flirting.
Okay.
Flirting for a while now.
For a while, we've unpacked
Yeah, we've unpacked
a lot of different
tactics and strategies and
Techniques.
nuances.
I guess the main takeaway for our listeners is,
Yeah, what would you say?
I would say,
What should people...
flirting is a skill that can be learned
Flirting is a skill that can be learned
and developed.
and developed. So it's about scourged,
If you're not,
being authentic,
I'd be master flirt.
and being open to connection.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
It's about having fun.
You'll get there. Just keep practicing.
Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Relax. Enjoy the process.
Have fun with it.
See where it takes you.
See where it takes you, right?
Yeah.
And remember,
And remember,
even if, you know, those interactions don't lead to romance.
romance, you're still developing.
Developing these skills
Yeah,
that can enrich
any area of your life.
any relationship,
Yeah.
whether it's romantic, platonic, or professional.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
ultimately it's about
At its core,
like communication and confidence.
communication, confidence,
And creating that spark.
and the ability to create a spark.
Yeah, and that's something that we
Yeah.
could all benefit from.
And those are qualities
Yeah.
that can benefit us in all areas of our lives.
Absolutely.
So true.
We'll leave you with this.
Okay.
If flirting is all about
Yeah.
expressing interest and creating connection,
Yes.
how can you apply those principles to
Ah.
your everyday interactions,
Interesting.
even
Yeah.
beyond the realm of romance?
Food for thought.
Food for thought.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so we've covered these 3 tactics.
We have.
Playful disqualification,
Yeah.
reversing the roles,
Mhm.
push-pull.
Yeah, those are good ones.
But it seems like
Yeah.
the main takeaway is
Yeah, what is it?
there's no magic formula
There is no magic formula, you're right.
when it comes to flirting.
You can't just,
Right.
use them as a recipe and expect it to always work.
Right. These tactics, can be helpful.
They can be helpful.
But you got
Okay.
tools. You got to know how to use them.
Yes,
And
but it's not about
how to
manipulating,
use them.
yeah,
Right.
or tricking someone
Yeah, it's not about being manipulative.
into liking you.
Right.
It's about expressing genuine interest
Yeah.
and creating
Like we were saying earlier.
a playful, engaging connection.
It's like a dance.
Right. You gotta read the other person,
You got to respond to their cues.
be present, listen to the other person's cues,
Yeah, don't be a robot.
and let the interaction unfold organically. Exactly. And this brings up a good question.
It's not about memorizing lines.
Right. If flirting is a skill,
Right.
how do we get better at it?
Yeah, how do we
In an authentic way.
get better at it?
Right, because nobody wants to feel like
Yeah.
they're putting on a fake persona.
Or using cheesy pickup lines.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear a cheesy pickup line.
Okay,
So, where do we start?
How do we do it?
I think it starts with self-awareness.
Okay.
Understanding your strengths,
Mm,
your sense of humor,
right.
the qualities that make you unique and attractive.
So knowing yourself.
Exactly.
Really?
Knowing yourself is step 1.
Yeah, okay.
And then it's about practicing those social skills.
Uh-huh.
We talked about
Yep.
active listening,
Right.
reading body language,
Yeah.
being comfortable with giving and receiving compliments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's okay to be nervous though, right?
absolutely.
It's
It's
that.
okay to be nervous.
Yeah.
Flirting is about
You're putting yourself out there.
putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
And that takes courage.
It does.
But the rewards
Yeah.
can be so worth it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day,
Because at the end of the day, flirting is about
connecting.
connection.
Yeah. It's about
I-
sparking that initial interest
That initial interest.
and then just seeing
And seeing where it leads.
where it goes from there.
And sometimes that spark
Yeah.
can lead to something truly special.
Well, that's beautiful. So I think our main takeaway for our listener today
Yeah, I agree.
is this. flirting is a skill that can be learned
Absolutely.
and developed.
Yes.
It's about being playful, being authentic,
Yes.
and being open to connection.
And most importantly, it's about having fun.
Yes.
You know, don't take it too seriously.
Don't put so much pressure on yourself.
Relax.
Yeah.
Enjoy the process.
Just have fun.
And see where it takes you.
See where it takes you and remember.
Exactly. And remember,
Even if things don't lead to romance,
even if those interactions don't lead to romance,
you're still developing skills that will help you.
you're still developing skills
At any area of
that
life.
can benefit you
Yeah.
in all areas of your life.
So true.
Absolutely.
At its core.
At its core.
Flirting is about
Flirting is about
confidence, communication,
communication,
and
confidence,
creating that spark.
and the ability to create a spark.
And those are all things that
And those are qualities
can help us
that can benefit us
in any area
in all areas of our lives.
of life.
Exactly.
All right, well, on that note,
Yeah.
we'll leave you with one final thought to ponder.
Okay.
If flirting is all about expressing interest
Okay.
and creating connection,
Yeah.
how can you apply those principles
I like that.
to your everyday interactions?
Yeah.
Even beyond the realm of romance.
Food for thought.
Food for thought.
Absolutely.
So think about that, and until next time,
Yeah. See you later.
be flirty.
Hey, flirty.